Welcome to RV and Travel Adventures. My name is Jesus Manuel Menegares. I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic wherever you're at. This is my April 2025 report. Essentially, late March, I was doing some camping, the start of camping season. It was quite cold early March, in February here in Texas. It didn't warm up till late March, and that's when I could take my RV, winterize it, and go do some camping. So I went to South Texas by way of Hallettsville, and then I ended up at Edinburgh and doing some trips down there. So let me just list the campgrounds I was at. I was at the Outback RV Campground in Hallettsville. I spent about $30 a night there. Very nice, very affordable, full hookups, campsite. A lot of folks stay there year-round, and Hallettsville is quite a nice town in that area. I call it the German-Czech, region of Texas, where they have like Schulenburg, Shiner, Hallettsville, and all these areas which still celebrate those cultures and have events celebrating the migration of folks from Europe to that region. Just like migration in contemporary society, there was a migration from Europe, Czech Republic, Germany, etc., to Texas, okay? So I was at Outback RV Campground, again in Hallettsville, Texas. Stayed there for several days, had a great time there. The ownership was super, 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 super nice. And again, they have a large section of their campground which is devoted towards, for their full-timers, pretty much, people that stay there for the season. But they look like they were there for the duration. And they had these other small set of campsites, and they call the A, B, C, D. And you said, hey, just take one of those. And I took one of those, and $30 a night. Very nice. And then I went to Lazy Palms Ranch in very much northern Edinburgh. To get to the center of Edinburgh, you'd have to go 20 miles. So it's a resort which has seen better days, but it's very, very, very affordable. A lot of the Winter-Texans leave their RV there, and they camp, and they have a great time, and they enjoy being there because it's affordable, and it's a good, spot so they can go visit other communities, go to Edinburgh, go to all the other communities, Harlingen, go to Mexico, go fishing, go do whatever they want. That campground is super affordable. It has a pool, and has a nice little hall where people play cards. Bingo. Hey, bingo. They have shuffleboard, and they have, various other sports. So it was a nice campground. Again, super, 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 super affordable. Once you get closer to Edinburgh, they have some upscale, quote unquote, upscales. That's where you can bring your Prevost, your Newmar. But these folks were not in Newmar Prevost, and they had they were having a great time. They're very friendly folks. The staff there was super friendly. They said, you can leave whenever you want. Don't worry about it. No noon checkout. You can leave whenever you want, et cetera, et cetera. And the people, I hung out while they were playing bingo, and I sat there and watched just for the experience. And I was watching them play cards and other games and hanging out at the pool. Had long conversations with these oldsters from Canada and those northern states, Wisconsin, Illinois, Michigan, et cetera, et cetera. They were all from those northern states, and they're trying to escape. I was surprised that, in this region, which is about 95%, 85% Latino, Hispanic, Mexican, Chicano like me, that, the folks that were at this resort were pretty much, all not Latinos. I was the only Latino there. So I stuck out like a sore thumb. Everybody else was Northerners, but they were very nice to me. We had long conversations about politics and, stuff that's going on in contemporary society. I was a bit cynical. I made jokes about a lot of stuff, and that's how I coped with the commentary that they were saying about certain politicians. Okay, so I had a great time. I was down there for over a week in Lazy Palms Ranch. Edinburgh, Texas. And from there, I drove again to downtown Edinburgh and down, all the different towns down there, Mission, Texas. A lot of my friends that I grew up in San Jose were from Mission, Texas. They were from all these small communities, and I sent them photographs and sent them videos of my adventures down there. Of course, I walked across the border. I parked my car in a parking lot. They have just an open parking lot with security cameras, free, and you just park it there. They have, paid parking, of course, but I just parked there. And as long as you don't leave crap on your chair, like, if you have a tiara, don't leave it on the dash, okay? Just don't leave it there. Don't leave your Rolex just sitting there like, just for people to go, oh, I like that Rolex. I'll break that window and get it. Just leave it empty, just like if you're in San Francisco, just like in your worst part of any major city in, the United States. Don't leave crap that people may want, even a toothbrush in your vehicle, okay? So I left my vehicle covered, everything, it just looked like a work truck. And then I walked about 2 blocks to the start of the process to cross the border. I brought my passport, I brought my wallet, I brought a copy of my birth certificate, and I walked across the border. Nothing else to do, The section where you enter in Reynosa, they've been upgrading, they've been, fixing it up. They got nice pavers, they got nice looking buildings, and it's just they're trying to make it more of a touristy area for Americans to come by, get their medical, get a taco, go have some dinner and breakfast. And then I walked across the railroad tracks, and of course that was pretty rough area. I had to walk about a half mile, and there was a rough area. I just walked into bars. I saw people working. People trying to work me. People waving at me, saying, hey, come over here. And they were very friendly women down there, very friendly. So I went down there walked around and meandered about. And of course, that was a very nice, very pleasant experience, especially in that newer area. Just as you enter, you go. It took me about 15, 20 minutes to go through, customs. And about 15 to 20 minutes, maybe a half hour, go through it. It was a very long line. People were buying flowers, people were buying odds and ends to take home on the other side, the American side of the border. So, and of course, I went also to Port Mansfield. So I went to Raymondville, and then I went that way, and about 50 miles, and I was in, fishing area. A lot of people were fishing. People were saying, hey, they said, that's a good place to catch fish. Of course, nobody was catching any fish. I brought my fishing equipment, but nobody was catching any fish. I didn't want to waste my time. Then I went hiking about, and then I, like an idiot, I haven't been to the beach in a while, I just thought, hey, let me take that shortcut. Looks like a little bit wet. And my first step, my absolute first step, I went knee deep in crud, basically mush, basically muck. And then I got out, it was all over my pants, and I had to, people on the side say, hey, do you need any help? I said, I think I can get out of this. If I took my second step, maybe I would need some help. But I only took one step, blink, and I went knee deep in muck near the beach. So, nice beach, Port Mansfield, nice community, fishing area, a lot of boats, people fishing boats down there and having a great time, catching fish. I love to fish. So again, I went to Outback RV Campground. Let me read my little list. Hallettsville, Texas. I went to Lazy Palms Ranch, Edinburgh, Texas, very much northern, Edinburgh, about, a good 20 miles from the center of Edinburgh. And I went to Reynosa, Mexico, across the border. Very nice. Had a great time down there. I bought a soda. I spent $1 on a soda. That's my major expense going to Reynosa. I didn't even buy any food. And then I went to Port Mansfield, and there what did I buy? I bought a soda. That's all I bought down there. So the main thing I learned about these winter Texans, it was a good exploration for me. These winter Texans are very, very, very nice people. They just, it's a community, and there's different economic classifications of winter Texans. People on a budget, people with a lot of money. They retired. They got the golden parachute. They got the golden, everything. They're doing very nice. They go to the expensive resorts, in Florida, with the great views of the ocean and stuff. Or they go to, one of these resorts next to the ocean in South Texas or in Harlingen and stuff like that. These folks, 20 miles there, 20 miles there. It's very quiet. People say, I like it because it's quiet. Very quiet, very quiet. And it's affordable. So it's affordable and quiet. So, I think most of them paid like $300 a month around there. I could be wrong to park their vehicle there and stay there during the duration. And again, some just leave their vehicle there and they just drive down there and stay in their camper, okay? So it was a very educational experience for me. I'm planning to move back to the West Coast, probably the summer or winter of 26, my wife and I. That's the plan. You never know how plans go. So this is I wanted to check out certain regions I haven't seen before. I've been to Harlingen, took my brother-in-law and my sister down there because that's where he's from. And I've been to South Texas on other occasions, but never been to that specific McAllen, Edinburgh, Reynosa region, Mission, Texas region. So a lot of Latinos like myself, our families, my parents are from South Texas. My neighbors that I grew up with in San Jose and Silicon Valley are from South Texas. There's a large diaspora of Latinos, Mexican Americans, Chicanos, Hispanics, as you may call them, who've moved from that region to get work in Silicon Valley, working in the field, starting a business, stuff like that. And that's how life is. People move to where the jobs are. If there's jobs in Poughkeepsie or in whatever part of the United States, they're going to go there. And if they're paying good, hey, I'm going to go there. My cousin said, hey, I got a good job. They're looking for people to hire. Let's go. So that's how diasporas work. So one thing I have to do in the upcoming days, I bought some stuff to fix my RV. I have, the usual heat damage on my RV. The rubber trim, the plastic trim around the edges of the RV are cracked. And I was driving on the road and I'm going, what's that? Flapping. No, that's that. It's the plastic trim was coming off. So I have to replace the plastic trim. And, it didn't cost that much, $20 or so to buy some plastic trim, 100 feet of it. So I'm going to put some of that in there. And then, of course, I'm going to try my best. And of course, my battery died twice while down on the trip. So next couple of days, I'm going to grab my old 300 amp hour Lossigi battery and see what's up with that. I'm going to bring it inside the house. Right now, it says it's only 1.5 volts. Ain't good. That ain't good. I've only had that battery for 6 months. So I'm going to grab that, bring it in the house, connect it to my Victron charger, my super nice Victron charger, and connect it up and see if it resuscitates that battery. In the meantime, I'm putting a little 30 amp hour little budget battery that I had, sealed lead acid battery. I'm just going to put it in there. I'm not going to put in my other, AO lithium 100 amp hour lithium batteries. I'm going to keep those here. I'm just going to put that little battery in there. Places that I go, I'm not boondocking. I'm not, off grid. Pretty much full hookups. Just call me Mr. Full Hookups. Yes, that's me. So hope you enjoyed this video. I just wanted to report what I did in April. So next couple weeks, for the next 5-6 days, it's going to be storming here in, Fort Worth, Texas. I'm not going to go out there in the middle of the rain and in these humid conditions and work on my RV. I'm going to wait till it's nicer, a nice sunny day. I can handle a little bit of heat, but rain and thunderstorms and lightning, not so much. So I'm going to wait for the weather to get better in about a week, and then I'm going to start working on my RV to fix the plastic trim, to do some caulking, stuff like that. Take out that heavy battery. It's not as easy as it is. I actually have to, take off the propane tanks. I have to take off the lock that, holds the battery box, and then I have to lift it up, and then bring it on home. So as I get older, I'm not as strong as I used to be. not as strong. Just saying. Maybe you're stronger. Hey, congratulations if you are, doing super, super well. I'm doing okay, but I could always do better. Thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I would greatly appreciate it. Muchas gracias a todos a ustedes. And if you have the time, and only if you have the time, leave your kind and friendly comments and talk about your experiences dealing with Winter-Texans. Very nice folks, very nice campgrounds, very nice camp hosts, very nice folks I met down there. These Northerners and Canadians are very nice. They're very nice. And of course, have you done some repairs on your RV? I'm going to be doing quite a few fixing odds and ends, And, RVing is all about enjoying the camping experience and having to do a lot of repairs. That thing, I was just talking to some family and about my RV, and I just tell them, hey, it's just a box. It shakes a lot and is constantly in need of repairs. So this last week, my wife received an academic award from the Texas Tech University system. This university my wife teaches at is affiliated with Texas Tech. She got Teacher of the Year. Very nice. Very nice. Teacher of the Year. And she also got a big cash award. Very nice cash award. There's a possibility we might be doing some traveling. We're definitely going to be going to San Francisco in about a few months for my grandson's high school graduation. We went down there for my granddaughter's graduation, but now we're going to my grandson's graduation. And then we're going to be going to Iowa, northern Iowa, Minnesota border Cresco for a wedding. One of my nephews on my wife's side is getting married, hooking up. Very nice. Congratulations. Hopefully it's a little bit better than the last time. They had no dancing. They had no music. I said, this Latino, this Hispanic wants to dance, wants to do his thing with his wife, just go out there and enjoy himself. It was so stoic to the point it was boring. Hopefully this time around, they said they're going to have music and they're going to have dancing. Hopefully it starts before midnight. It was so find out. I almost coughed. Again, thanks for watching my video. You can become a Patreon member, patreon.com/JMMGarza. I would greatly appreciate it. I do have some Patreon members. I could use always some more. You can become a Patreon member. Muchas gracias ahead of time. And of course, we do have memberships on this channel, the typical YouTube memberships, and on the side, somewhere on the periphery here, press a button and you can donate $1, $2, $5 if you're Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, or Mark Zuckerberg, you can afford not just $1, maybe $2, okay? You can do it. You can do it, especially with the new tax breaks you're going to be getting. You're making billions of bucks. Why not? Just send me $2. Again, thanks in advance, Elon, Mark, and Jeff. I greatly appreciate it. You're my new best buds. From Fort Worth, Texas, this has been Jesus Manuel Mena Garza. Don't forget to check out my website specific to this channel, rvta.myportfolio.com. That's differentiated from my commercial website, jmmgarza.com. On my website, I do have some photographs. Yes, I have some photographs of my Lazy Palms Ranch in Edinburgh, Texas. Maybe enjoy them. Check them out. You can see some of my photographs. I'll also leave links to a video of my adventures at Lazy Palms and also Outback. You are welcome. From Fort Worth, Texas, thanks for watching my video. This has been Jesus Manuel Mena Garza, April 2025. Hope you enjoyed this little review of my activities. Again, I'm going to be doing some repairs, a lot of repairs. Do you have an RV? Do you ever do repairs? Probably. And then maybe in, April, May, late May, I'm going to be in San Francisco, early June. I might be in Europe. In July, I'll be in Iowa. Who knows? That's the plan. From Fort Worth, Texas, this has been Jesus Manuel Mena Garza. Hope you're doing absolutely fantastic. Oh, I forgot to talk about one thing, and I have a little note here. While I was at Lazy Palms Ranch in Edinburgh, Texas, I got about 1 million of those little goat's head thorns on my shoes. I would take off my shoes in the entrance, but somehow every night when I woke up barefoot from the bed, I would go, ow, 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 ow. must have been poked by those thorns, those goat's head thorns, about, I'm not exaggerating, I'm not exaggerating, at least 100 times. And I kept on brooming, but they just came in because they like me. They like me a lot. From Fort Worth, Texas, this has been Jesus Manuel Mena Garza. Gracias. Adios. Check the links for some of my videos and other things that you might be interested in. Again, gracias. Let me do it again until I get it right. Adios. Ring the bell for future notifications. Bye-bye.